Hello everybody, I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ashley and this is the Library of a Silver Saint where we talk all things books. I've just finished recording another video, but I'm away this weekend and I wanted to do another proper video because my last video was just a chatty update. I wanted to do another video, but I don't have much time for the rest of the week to do any sort of filming or anything. So I thought I'll quickly do it now, but I'm wearing the same outfit. So please ignore that. So, but anyway, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're all doing really well. I'm just gonna have to take a sip of biscuit tea because thirsty work. This is a bit of a different video, but I am soon going away with my partner and not Ernie. Ernie's not coming with us, but we are going to be going on a little break. We are doing a bit of a road trip. So we are driving to France. We're driving to France and we're going to go to a place called Strasbourg in France, which is very beautiful. And then we're going to be exploring like the Black Forest and things like that in Germany. I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I can't wait. But it's a road trip and there will be a lot of travel time. I will not be driving. I will be passenger princess. There is going to be plenty of car time, passenger time for me to be sat reading. And so I've been trying to figure out what books to take with me because I know that I've been speaking about doing the Lord of the Rings and Empire of the Vampire read along, but I'm not going to start them whilst I'm away because there's just no point. I'm going to be on holiday. I won't have time. So I'm going to save them for when I get home. But I would like to take plenty of books with me. By this point, by the time I go on holiday, I should be relatively updated in terms of my current reads and my buddy reads. So I've got two buddy reads that I'm doing at the moment. I'm buddy reading Best Served Cold by Joe Abercrombie with Jake from Nerd Level Rising and Andrew from Brother Grimdark on Instagram, having such a good time chatting about it every day. And I'm also buddy reading Howling Dark, which is book 2 in the Sun Eater series with Andrew from Brother Grimdark. Both of those reads should be concluded by the end of August. So we should finish them just before I go on holiday, and I should have finished also my other book, my other current read, which is Ship of Destiny by the third book in the Live Ship Trader series by Robin Hobb. So I should be up to date with all of my reading, which means I can take fresh books. I don't want to start a new series when I go away because I'm going to be doing my rereads of Empire of the Vampire and doing the Lord of the Rings read along. But also I'm technically in the middle of some series and being in the middle of Sun Eater as well at the moment. Well, not quite in the middle, but continuing with Sun Eater. I don't really feel like now is a good time to start another new series. So I thought, why don't I take some of my standalones that I have not had an opportunity to read. So I wanted to talk to you about the ones that I'm taking. And honestly, it's such a mixed bag. You're going to laugh. I'm just looking at this stack and it's hilarious because it's so varied. It's actually wacky. Like none of these, there's no cohesion to the stack at all. It's just literally a stack of random books from my physical TBR, but they're all so random. And I was talking to Abby, Books and Three Cats, about this the other day, and also my friend Alex, Nightshade Journal. We were talking about holiday reads and we were talking about how we really don't necessarily read to match the holiday or the break or wherever we are, or the season. We just like variation. And I'll tell you what, this stack has got variation. There is no cohesiveness to it. So I'm going to show you what is on my stack. The first book that I am thinking of taking on holiday with me, and do you know what? I'm going to say thinking of taking on holiday because knowing me and how chaotic I am, I might change my mind at the last minute. I'll do a recap when I get back of what I read on holiday and it won't be any of these books. But at the moment, these are the current plans. The first book I'm thinking of taking with me is My Friends by Fredrik Backman. I mentioned Fredrik in a recent video. He's one of my favourite authors of all time, and he is not an epic fantasy author. He is a contemporary fiction author, but he is brilliant. I mentioned his book, A Man Called Uva. I also love his book, Anxious People, and Beartown. I've read book 1 in that series. I haven't progressed yet, but I love Beartown. All 3 of those books that I mentioned were 5 stars for me. I adore his writing. He does write, I know Beartown is a series, but generally he writes standalones. And Fredrik just has this incredible ability to write about humans, just people, and human nature and the human condition in the most mundane, everyday, but yet most profound and beautiful way. He takes everyday human scenarios that are so real and so raw and so boring in so many ways. Like, you know, it's so different to anything else I read. But he makes them so powerful and heartfelt, and just his writing just it makes me feel something. I feel something whenever I read his books. So this is his most recent release, which is called My Friends. I actually don't have a synopsis. I don't know what this is about, so I will read the blurb to you. In the corner of one of the most famous paintings in the world, 3 tiny figures sit at the end of a pier. Most people don't even notice them. Most people think it's just a depiction of the sea. But Louisa, an aspiring artist herself, knows otherwise. 25 years earlier, in a distant seaside town, a group of teenagers seek refuge from their bruising home lives by spending long summer days together. They tell jokes, they share secrets, and they commit small acts of rebellion. These lost souls find in each other a reason to get up each morning, a reason to dream, a reason to love. Out of that summer emerges a transcendent work of art, a painting that will unexpectedly be placed into 18-year-old Louisa's care. Determined to learn how it came to be and to decide what to do with it, Louisa embarks on a cross-country journey, but the closer she gets to the painting's birthplace, the more nervous she becomes. In this stunning testament to the transformative, timeless power of friendship and art, Louisa is proof that happy endings don't always take the form we expect. It just sounds beautiful. And also, it's my first book that I've got signed by him. Oh, it's so exciting. I know I use that word too frequently, excited. I'm always excited, but I'm really looking forward to this. It's probably going to shatter my heart, most of his books do, but I just know I'll have the best time. I love his writing. And it's so different to everything else that generally I read now, but I just know I will love it because Fredrik is one of my go-to authors. So I'm hoping to take this with me. Now, I'm going to talk about this next one because I feel like it's the one that's most similar to My Friends, and that is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I actually got this secondhand recently. I was in the queue in the library requests for this, but I was number 27 of 32 or 35 people or something, and it was moving really slow. And by the looks of when I was going to get the request through, when it was actually going to get delivered to my library, it was months and months, and I just thought, I really would quite like to take that on holiday. But I found this secondhand for £3.50, brand new. So, I mean, it was worth it. So this is Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author of so many incredible books. Predominantly, she is well known for writing Daisy Jones and the Six and The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Carrie Soto is back, One True Loves, maybe In Another Life, something like that. I think I've read all of them. I've read all of her books. I adore them. My favourite personally is Daisy Jones and the Six because of it's how it's told. It's told as sort of like a series of interviews with band members that are reminiscent of and inspired by Fleetwood Mac. Incredible book, incredible TV series as well. I also love The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I love Carrie Soto's back. I've rated most of her books 5 stars. I love them. She's one of my favourite authors, and she's an auto-buy author for me. Atmosphere is her most recent release, and again, I know one thing about it, and I know that it's set in the 80s, female astronauts. That's all I know. Female astronaut? Female astronauts? Plural? Not sure. That's all I know. In the summer of 1980, astrophysics professor Joan Goodwin begins training to be an astronaut at Houston's Johnson Space Center alongside an exceptional group of fellow candidates, Top Gun pilot Hank Redmond, mission specialist John Griffin and Lydia Danes, warm-hearted Donna Fitzgerald and Vanessa Ford, the magnetic and mysterious aeronautical engineer. As the new astronauts prepare for their first flights, Joan finds a passion and a love she never imagined and begins to question everything she believes about her place in the observable universe. Then, in December of 1984, on mission STS-LR9, everything changes in an instant. From what I understand, this book starts with something terrible happening. You know that something bad happens, and then I believe it sort of goes back and then works up towards that again. That's my understanding. So many people I know that have read this cried their eyes out. Absolutely cried their eyes out at the ending, and I've heard the most incredible reviews. So I'm really looking forward to this. And again, I think it's a bit different for me. It's a standalone. I think it'll be really good in terms of what I've been reading, to have a little bit of a break before going into the heaviness of the deep dives of Empire of the Vampire and Lord of the Rings. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, my next book that is on my list is a horror, and that is The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. I love this cover. I've seen this everywhere, but predominantly I've heard Will and Ed talking about it on their channel, The Brothers Gwyn. I believe this is a horror. I don't know much about it at all. In fact, I've heard generally that you should go in blind. So part of me wants to read the summary, part of me really doesn't. So I'm not going to. I do think I do know who the antagonist is, or what the antagonist is in this book. But I won't share it just in case you don't know and you want to read it and you don't want to be spoiled. But I've heard incredible things about the writing and the story. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, Ed from Brothers Gwyn, his favourite read of the year, or one of his favourite reads of the year. So I have faith. So The Buffalo Hunter, so different. Like, look at that, the difference. I go for range, I go for variety. Okay, 2 more. I'm going to quickly get through this because otherwise I'm going to be late for work. And I can't go to work dressed like this. I'm thinking of taking Glorious Exploits by Ferdia Lennon with me. This is a Greek. Yes, this is a Greek historical fiction novel that I hear so much about from the Brothers Gwyn, from Will and Ed. They talk about this all the time. I believe this is about a Greek slaves, but putting on a play, I believe. Ancient Sicily, enter Gelon, visionary dreamer, theatre lover, enter Lampo, feckless, jobless, in need of a distraction. Imprisoned in the quarries of Syracuse, thousands of defeated Athenians hang on by the thinnest of threads. They're fading in the baking heat, but not everything is lost. They can still recite lines from Greek tragedy when tempted by Lampo and Gelon with goatskins of wine and scraps of food, and so an idea is born, because after all, you can hate the invaders but still love their poetry. It's audacious, it might even be dangerous, but like all the best things in life, love, friendship, art itself, it will reveal the very worst and the very best of what humans are capable. What could possibly go wrong? So I believe they start putting on plays. I'm really excited for this. I've heard amazing things from Will and Ed, the Brothers Gwyn. I also believe Rachel, the Book and the Witch, on Instagram, Bookstagram, recently read this and adored it. It's been on my list for a long time. This might be it. This might be the time. And then finally, quickly, because I've got to go to work, this is where it all nosedives at the end. The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Why would I want to read this on holiday? It's meant to be joyful, but you know I love destruction. I love emotional destruction. It's what I go for. Hello. So I picked this up recently. I've seen the film for The Road, but I've never read The Road. And I recently watched Vera's video about Cormac McCarthy. She did quite a while ago. I've only just caught up with it. But it was an incredible video. And she spoke about this. And I did say at the beginning of the year, or earlier on in the year, that Cormac McCarthy is an author I've not read much, well, I've not read anything from, but would love to. Again, Will and Ed, the Brothers Gwyn, love Cormac McCarthy and his writing. I think this is generally a good place to start. And I know that I've watched the film, so I do know that it's bleak and yeah, that it's not great. But I feel like if I'm really happy because I'm traveling and like looking at pretty things, I'll be emotionally fine. So yeah, that's the final book. So that is my stack. It is very, sorry Ernie, I don't want to cover up your beautiful face. It's very cute. It's very varied, but that's what we like. We like variation. We like range. I'll give him his breakfast. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please do give it a like. I would be so grateful. And if you would like to become a firm member of the Library of a Silversaint, then please do hit the subscribe button. We would love to have you here with us. Please let me know if you recommend any of those books, if you've read any of those books, or if you have any other recommendations, or if you just think that I'm batty because of the range of books that I'm taking with me, potentially. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.